Oh, what a glorious thing to be a healthy, grown-up, busy bee, whiling away the passing hours.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my workshop. This short video is a description of my radius turning tool. It is based on a design on the Steve Bedair site. I'll give the reference to that in the description. And is basically a flat plate which attaches to the lathe cross slide with the T-bolts in the T-slots, and there is a rotating body which is held on the base plate by a single bolt. Now, in the original design, the body was purely a cylinder of steel running on the base plate. I thought I could probably improve on that, so what I've done is I've got what I think is called a bicycle headset ball race or thrust race, which is held onto the base plate by this retaining washer, I suppose. That's the wrong way round. That goes on to the base plate. No, it doesn't. That's not the base plate, that's the body. Held on by these two screws. Which I'll tighten up off camera. Now, when I mounted the body with the thrust bearing onto the base plate, I found there was a tendency for it to wobble because of the small diameter. So I added 4 brass pads which are machined to the same height as the balls, and this provided the stability that I required. The body itself is secured to the base plate from underneath, of course, using a bolt which has got, you probably won't be able to see it, I don't think I can get it close enough, but it is cross-drilled about 8mm from the end, and inserted in that a short piece of cord from a strimmer. That acts as a sort of self-locking device as it is screwed in. There we are. Off camera I've assembled the body to the base plate, and it now rotates without any slop. Into the central groove goes the cutting tool, which has a standard insert screwed to it. I've modified the design again so that it has 2 positions, which extends the range over which the radiusing tool can operate, and more easily allows internal radiuses or concave radiuses to be made, as well as external convex or ball turning curves. This simply slides into the slot and is secured by 3 screws into the body. They align with grooves either side. I put it around both sides so that it further increases the range. Also helps to locate. Now what I've done is, when the insert here was inserted, I milled this face and stopped just as the cutter came up to the cutting edge here, and that formed a register line. And then if you line that up with the mark on the body, I'm not sure that shows up too well on the picture. I'll try and get a close-up later. That indicates that you are in the centre of the body, and it's merely a matter of moving the cutting tool one way or the other to give a radius, the radius required. It would be useful to have a scale on here. I suppose you could simply cut one of these up and stick that on, or engrave marks on here. I find it just as easy to use a simple scale like that. Set it for a 10mm radius. Nip up the clamping screws. Swap the insert over to there, and away you go. The eagle-eyed amongst you will have noticed that the ball on the end of the turning attachment is of extremely poor quality and finish. I've tried recutting it, but I've found that the material I've used came out of the scrap box, I suspect, and is made of extremely stickium and won't cut at all well. So I've started on a new one. I cut the blank from a piece of aluminium, the only piece of round I happen to have at the hand, and I'm cutting at a speed of 1345 RPM. I'm cutting it dry, and I've also changed the insert to a polished one, which gives a far better finish on aluminium. So here we go. I hope this is not too loud. End of one cut. I now feed the cross slide in by about 1 millimetre. Go back the other way. There's a little bit of flex on this side, which is giving a slightly poorer finish. I'll just take another cut and then finish it off camera. And just to show that not all balls are round, I made this into an egg shape, I suppose, just for decorative purposes. And there's the finished article. So, if you have been, thanks for watching, and catch you again next time. Bye for now. Keep safe.